Hey, what's up guys, TechTime here, and I am back again with a brand new video. So before I begin this video, as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching this one. If you enjoy my content, make sure you leave a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and yeah, without further ado, I think it's about time we finally take a look at the Galaxy A52. And this is going to be sort of my mini review. If you guys want to see a more in-depth review, let me know, leave it in the description and I'll make it happen. And I have a dedicated camera review for this phone coming really soon. So make sure you're subscribed so that way you don't miss that. Alright, with that being said, let's do this quick unboxing first. So here it is. I mean, this phone has been out for like a month now, but better late than never. So let's take it out. And yeah, I mean, here's the phone itself. We're gonna go ahead and place it to the side real quick. We get our SIM card, we get our wall adapter, as well as our USB-C to USB 2 or USB 3 cord. But yeah, without further ado, I mean, let's actually get into the phone itself. So I've been using this phone for about a week and a half, and I can give you my mini review. So far off of the time that I've spent with the phone, this easily is one of my favorite budget smartphones that I've seen in a while. I mean, Samsung really brought their A game when it comes to this one. So let's talk about it. And we're going to start and talk about the design itself. So the back is made out of plastic. It's not the most premium material, but it is definitely, this phone definitely feels like a premium phone. And also on the back of the phone, you have your quad camera setup, which we will talk about in a little bit. And like I said in the beginning, I am doing a separate, real in-depth camera review of this phone. So stay tuned for that and subscribe. So on the bottom of the phone, you do have your 3.5mm headphone jack. So they retain that. You have a microphone, your USB-C, as well as your bottom-facing speaker. And if you notice the sides, first of all, the right-hand side does have your power button as well as your volume up and down. But the sides themselves, they have this chrome finish, which helps kind of provide an extra depth as far as design. I mean, it makes it look better. And this chrome finish really separates the glass from the plastic back. And that's also something to note as far as design. Now let's talk about also the front of the phone, which really, technologically, it's up to par with these high-end phones. So the front of the phone has a 6.5-inch 1080p. It's a 2400 by 1080 display. And it is an OLED screen, definitely very quality as you would expect from a company like Samsung. And one of the coolest things that this screen has, first of all, it has a peak brightness of 800 nits, so very bright outdoors. Especially when you compare it to phones at its price point. Also, this phone does support a smooth 120 hertz refresh rate. So this phone is definitely, you can switch between them in the settings, but overall, this phone just runs buttery smooth. I mean, it's absolutely an incredible display. Definitely the best display on any phone at this price point. Easy. Okay, so the front also houses your kind of a center circular hole punch front-facing camera. Now let's talk about the camera. Okay, and the camera, you have, like I said, a quad camera setup, and the specs for the cameras are the following. So your main sensor is a 64 megapixel at f1.8 aperture. The lens size is 26mm, and you also have a 12 megapixel at f2.2, which is 123 degrees ultra wide angle. And you also have a 5 megapixel macro as well as a 5 megapixel depth sensor. And you can shoot video up to 4K at 30 frames per second or 1080p at 30 or 60 frames per second. And your front-facing selfie camera is a 32 megapixel sensor at f2.2 aperture. And you can also shoot 4K at 30 frames per second or 1080p at 30 frames per second. And something to note about the camera right off the mini review of this video, the camera app itself is very reliable. It's fast. You can switch between all three cameras very easily and very smooth. And it doesn't really have a zoom lens, a physical zoom lens. However, it does portray that the zoom on it is really good, so you can think of it that it has a telephoto lens. And off of the couple of pictures that I took with it in a week and a half, like I said, a full in-depth camera review coming, I promise. Just make sure you're subscribed for that. Off of the time that I spent with it, it's very smooth. It takes some really nice shots. So that's something to also note when it comes to the Galaxy A52. Now, as far as specifications go, the A52 5G, this is the model that I have, has the following specs. So you have your Snapdragon 750G 5G, so not a high-end processor, but definitely not a low-end processor either. And this phone comes in either 6 or 8 gigabytes of RAM. The review unit that I have is 6 gigabytes and accompanied by 128 gigabytes of storage. Your GPU is the Adreno 619, and this phone performs like it should. It's a fast phone, first of all. Because of the 120 hertz refresh rate, it will be faster than other phones with the same chipset just because of the refresh rate. And you also have, one of the features that you have is an in-screen under display fingerprint sensor, and you also have a 4500 milliamp hour battery, and you can fast charge it up to 25 watts. So 50% you can get to 50% in 30 minutes according to Samsung. That is to be tested. And it comes in a couple of colors. The color that I got, I think it's my favorite color, is just the plain black color. And yeah, I mean, like I said, this phone performs like it should when it comes to daily tasks. Really, when you can push it is when you download these heavy demanding, these GPU hungry apps, such as heavy 3D graphic games. And overall, I mean, this phone is definitely a fantastic option for people who are looking for a budget Samsung device. So you can either get the 5G or the non-5G variant. The non-5G is cheaper. You can get it for around like $399. I think there are deals on it for $370. I'll leave purchase links in the description below, so if you're interested in this phone, definitely check them out. I'll leave two, one with a 5G variant and one with a non-5G variant. And the 5G variant, of course, is expensive due to the 5G chip. But yeah, overall, this is definitely a phone that I personally would recommend to the average consumer who's not looking to spend flagship money on a phone, but still retain flagship quality. I mean, under screen fingerprint, 120 hertz OLED display from Samsung, and higher than average camera. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about this phone. Definitely loving it. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.